Hello and welcome everyone to our 5-day masterclass called Money Mindset. It's Alexandra Mentor here, an executive coach and mentor, and I wanted to welcome each and one of you because this week might be one of the most incredible and transformational week of your year so far. So for those of you who are brand new to our group, to our workshop, let me just introduce myself briefly and let you know why should you dedicate this 1 hour of this workshop and spend this time with us this week. First of all, I wanted to say something truly incredible here, that I have been a mentor and a coach for the past 6 years. And I have been working and I have been coached by one of the most incredible mentor out there, Bob Proctor, who is one of the best people who teaches the laws of success. So, how to grow exponentially. And he teaches you the mindset behind success. So, I'll just take you back a little bit, about 6, 7 years ago. And up till then, I have been working in finance. So my background is finance, and I spent over a decade working in different companies in the financial sector. And when I started, I really enjoyed my work. I found it fulfilling, I found it challenging. I used to work probably 10, 12 hours every day because I really enjoyed it. Now, making a long story short, if you fast forward by about 10 years, I felt that I was missing something big in life. And what I was always looking for, I was looking for that fulfillment and that joy and that happiness that many great minds in history talk about. So, personal growth and development was always my hobby. I remember reading books about human behavior and growth for a very long time because I was fascinated by why some people do things and some other don't. And then I grew up with certain beliefs, which then at the age of 20 something, I was starting to see that some of those beliefs were not true. As I was growing up and as I was moving around different circles of people, I started to notice that the beliefs I have grew up with were not true. So that used to puzzle me a lot. And what sort of beliefs I'm talking about? Maybe this is something you can relate to. Maybe this is something where you are right now. So some of the beliefs were that in order for you to be very successful in life, so have a very good job and be financially free, you have to be very smart and you have to have a very good education and you have to study hard, so then you can get to a very good university, so then you can get a very good job, and then you can create that incredible life for yourself, happy, fulfilled life. And as I went into my 20s or late 20s, I've noticed that not only I did a lot of what I've been raised to believe was true, my late 20s, I kind of went through a moment of confusion because even though I had a good job, even though I had a good education, and even though I was always ambitious to learn more, it seemed like my life wasn't this fulfilling, it wasn't this satisfying. So certain things really puzzled me for a long time. What also puzzled me earlier was that I've come across a lot of people who have actually been very successful. They've had their own businesses, yet they didn't have any higher education. So as I was growing through that decade between 20 and 30, you may see that I've come across different scenarios as comparing to my beliefs. So then, making that story a bit fast forward, when I went onto my fourth job in financial sector, and I've been in my last employment for about 2.5 years. I've started to feel lack of fulfillment. I felt like I was going to work every single day and I didn't enjoy it. So some of you may say I lost my mojo. And I kind of thought, what is going on? What's happening to me? I my pattern, I started to noticing a pattern, and my pattern was that every about 2 to 3 years I was changing jobs. And my last employment, I remember thinking, I feel like I'm not happy here anymore. I feel like I'm meant to do more. I feel like I'm not really rewarded for what I'm getting, for what I'm putting in. And as I was just thinking about changing my job for another job, something has occurred to me. And what has occurred to me was that I literally were creating that pattern of constant change of employment. And then that pattern was repeating. So, about 2, 3 years into this employment, I started to feel itchy feet. I was thinking, like, there must be more to life and I need another change. And I kept changing it, but the pattern was the same. In the end, even though the change happened, and it was a very exciting change at the beginning of that process, of that change, 18 months, 2 years, 2.5 years down the line, I started to feel unfulfilled. And about 6, 7 years ago, that realization has really put me onto a very low moment. So basically, I was asking myself, what do I really want? And I was confused more than ever in my life because I used to think that I'm quite ambitious. I used to think that I was quite confident. I didn't have any problems to just go on to the next employment, to apply for another job, to meet any strange people and start a conversation. So I felt that I have it all to succeed. And there I was on my fourth job within 12 years. And I was about to just change that job. And then I thought, what am I doing? And then during that time, I also used to hear certain things from family or friends that you're never happy. Why are you not happy with what you have? There's always something that you're looking for. Why are you not just satisfied? And I remember hearing that over and over again. I was thinking, maybe there's something wrong with me. Why am I not satisfied? Why do I always keep changing? Why do I always keep looking and searching? Maybe, maybe you can't have it all. Maybe I just made it up in my head that this happiness, fulfillment is all of these beautiful experience and experiments, but maybe it's not true. Maybe I'm just living a very delusional life and I'm also always chasing something that doesn't exist. So, guess what happens when you're kind of at the moment of your life, when you're at the age of 31, 32, and you're about to do or go through another change, and you realize that that's all that you've been doing. You keep changing, you keep searching, and you keep investing time and money, and it's just not happening for you. So, then I remember saying to myself, okay, trust your gut feeling, go after something that you truly love doing. So as some of you may know, you probably listen to motivational speakers, you probably follow certain people who have achieved this great success, and they always keep telling you, if you really want the real success, if you want to live a happy, fulfilling life, you need to do something that you truly love doing, because then you live with passion. Once you live with passion, the life is beautiful. So I remember about 7 years ago, I remember thinking, what do I love doing? And I started asking myself this question, and I asked over and over and over again. And then I thought, well, I love to be outside. And when I was a child, I used to love sports, and I love to be outdoors, and I love the adventures, and I love the traveling. So If I love being outside and love sports, I'm going to become a personal trainer. And that's what I did. And about 7 years ago, I've decided that my passion and my life purpose will be to become a personal trainer and to help other people to be healthy and fit. And that's what I did. I've invested thousands of pounds to be professionally qualified, and I've attended, along my full-time job, I've attended the personal trainer qualification for 6 months every single weekend. I was going to a different town and I was doing my qualification, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And I was also breaking through some barriers, and I was getting out of my comfort zone, and I was thinking, well, I have to do it. I know I have to do it because that's kind of the pattern. I knew that. I've heard about it before. And then I got qualified and I started training other people. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. However, what has happened about 2, 3 months down the line, I wanted to create something better. I wanted to not only do what I love to do, but I also wanted to create financial freedom. And I said to myself, I don't really want to be working on the weekends. I don't really want to be working every single evening because that's not what I want. So I still had my full time job. And then I was thinking, can I make a living out of training people? And at that time, 7 years ago, my mindset said to me that I couldn't. My mindset, my beliefs told me that if I were to make a living training other people, I'd have to be working every weekend. I'd have to be working every evening because that's where people are not at work. And that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to change my full-time job, my daytime job for the weekends. So I remember saying to myself, that's not really what I want. So it just didn't seem to me possible back then to create that financial freedom, or at least replace my corporate income with being a personal trainer. So what did I do? I gave up on training people. I basically said to myself, even though I love it and I enjoy it, I can't make a living out of it. And that is something that many people grow up with. Many people grow up with another belief, a limiting belief, where you might really have a passion. Maybe you've known your passion for a very long time. Maybe you always knew what you wanted to do. And then you were told by either your parents or your friends or your family who dares for you dearly, and they want the best for you and they want to protect you from failures, from disappointments. And they said to you, well, you can't make a living out of this passion of yours. Why don't you be more realistic and go after something that will really help you to create that financial independence? So then you go on to certain jobs or certain professions that you are told to then help you to create that financial freedom. And that's exactly where I was as well. Prior my personal trainer qualification, I also went into finance because that actually helped me to remind myself that even when I was a teenager, I loved sports. I absolutely loved sports, but I was told that you are not going to make a living out of this profession. So we're looking 20 years ago, and I lived by that belief, thinking I can't make a living out of what I truly love doing. So this is what happens with many of us. If you can relate to this, give me thumbs up. Let me know that this is something maybe you battled with. Maybe this is something that you grew up with, thinking, well, I had my passion, I knew what I wanted to do, yet I could not or didn't know the ways to make a living out of my passion. So you've given up. You went on to something that you had believed will help you to create that financial freedom. And there we are, a lot of brilliant, ambitious people stuck in jobs, just like I was in my financial job, doing this job Monday to Friday, thinking that eventually it's going to work out for me. Eventually, the right time or right opportunity is going to show up. And eventually, I'm going to find that passion and I'm going to find something that not only I'm passionate about, but it will also create that financial freedom for me. So if you can relate to this, please let us know in the chat box because we would love to hear from you. And I can see lots of double thumbs. Thank you so much, Kion. Absolutely. Lots of yes, yes, yeses. Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. So there I was, double confused and double, I would say, really close to maybe depression because I've been trying for over a decade to find something I was truly passionate about. And I kept trying and I kept searching, and I believed that it's possible yet again. It was just not working. It just seemed that it was not working. So that brought me to a complete confusion more than ever before. And I remember thinking, well, if this is it in life, then I don't know what else can I do. And I remember I had about 6 weeks of feeling very low. And I also cried a lot. Maybe you can relate to this, maybe you can't, maybe you're not there yet, maybe you just have those thoughts of what you could potentially do, or maybe you've gone so far as I did 6 7 years ago, where you've tried so many things, you've tried so many routes, you've invested time and money with hope, with faith as well. Yet again, when you looked around, when you looked into your bank account, the money wasn't there. When you looked at your day-to-day life, it wasn't that happy, fulfilled life. And you start to question yourself that maybe you can't have it all. And maybe you start believing that some of the things you used to believe are not true. And then you allow other people to say to you, why are you not satisfied? Just be happy with what you have because you can't have it all. And then you allow this to absorb you, and then you let go that dream of yours, and you kind of say to yourself, well, you can't have it all. And that's how many people live. When you really think about it, 97% of people do not live the life they truly desire because of so many limiting beliefs, because of so many limiting habits. And that's exactly where I was about 6 7 years ago, when I started to doubt my own intuition, when I started to allowing other people to dictate the way I felt. And that brought me to this very low moment. And at that very moment, what has happened was that teeny tiny voice in my head, and it said to me, give yourself the last chance, give yourself this last opportunity, and contact someone who knows what is going on. So I've been following Bob Proctor for about 7 years back then in 2016. And I remember thinking, the guy knows what he talks about. He knows his topic. Because if he didn't, he would have been gone a long time ago. But he had been teaching this mindset stuff for over 60 years. And I was thinking, if anyone can help me, it's definitely going to be him. So instead of asking my friends or family, as most people do, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should think? I literally went straight to Bob Proctor and I said, you either going to help me or nobody's going to help me. So I gave myself the last chance. I bet on myself. And making a long story short, because that's a completely different story, something I will share with you this week later on. Make that conversation with one of Bob's consultants was also an incredible story where I had to push myself out of my comfort zone completely, where before making that decision, I literally couldn't sleep for 3 nights. And I literally was thinking that I was going crazy because the investment was nearly equal to my yearly income, which the money I didn't have. And I remember thinking, why do I always keep searching? Why can I not just help myself? However, I made that decision after 3 sleepless nights, and I've decided to work with the best mentor out there who had helped me to put all the puzzles together. And I can tell you guys, my life has never been the same. Since working and being personally mentored by Bob Proctor, I have finally found the secrets to success, and I had started to create my own economy. What means is that I started to create the business I wanted. I gave myself the time I wanted to work, and I started to create the time freedom I've always desired. And I've come across so many incredible people during this journey that I can honestly say to you that you can have it all. But what you do need is clarity, direction, support, and you do have to have that desire to bet on yourself and go after what you truly desire. And this is what we're going to be sharing with you this week, how you can push through that fear and get yourself out of your comfort zone so you can go through the zone of learning to the zone of growth. Growth is what you're looking for, and how to get there, how you can really discover your true life purpose. This is exactly what we're going to be sharing with you today and throughout the whole week, every single day. So if you dedicate 1 hour per day this week, we can promise you that by end of this week, if you pay 100% attention to our information, to the information that we want to share with you, and that we have the privilege to share with you today and tomorrow for the rest of the week, I can promise you that by the end of this week, you will feel some visible changes within yourself. You'll see some shifts within your paradigm, which is your beliefs and some of your habits. So I highly encourage you to get rid of all the distractions and give us 100% attention throughout this week, because this might just be the beginning of an incredible journey in your life. So, what I also wanted to do is I wanted to ask all of you that now I can see so many people are jumping on the call, which is absolutely great to see all of you present here with us. I just wanted to ask you to say hello to us. Let us know where you are joining us from. And remember, guys, that please be active during this masterclass throughout the next 5 days, because this is beneficial only to you. When you're actively participating, not only you will remember more information, you'll gain better understanding and you'll retain more information. And something that you will be hearing all the time from us this week is that when you listen, you remember a fraction. When you participate, you actually remember a lot of it. But when you actively participate, which is asking questions, answering our questions, replying to certain comments, or sharing your experiences with us, this is where you can explore and experience that change, that transformational change. And the last thing before I move on to our next part in today's session is that knowing is not enough. So, something I'm going to be repeating a lot this week, and something that might be quite shocking to your beliefs so far, that gathering information is not enough. So, what you do have to do is you have to be doing it. So, actioning it, applying this information. And that is something we encourage you to do every single day this week to create a habit of being active and proactive. And that's where change begins. So, now I would like you to introduce you to Nicole, who is has been absolutely incredible to work with. We have known each other for the past 4 years with Nicole, and we have been working together in the past 2, 3 years. And Nicole would like to share her story with you. And here she is. Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Hi guys. Nice to be here chatting with you today. It's a little chilly in here today. So my name's Nicole Steller. For those of you that don't know me, some of you may have chatted with me previously, but I just wanted to share my story. So as Alex mentioned, we've been working together for the last few years. I've been helping her with workshops and so on. It's been absolutely lovely. So that's one of the things I'm doing. There's another thing I do as well. There's a few things. I'm a registered acupuncturist. So I deal with acupuncture, Chinese medicine, Reiki as well. And so I do have my own business now. That was one of my goals. And most recently, I've been doing a lot of recording music, which is something that I've wanted to do for a long time as well. But those three things that I just mentioned. So if you would have asked me 4.5 years ago if I would be doing any of those, I would have told you were crazy, because I probably shared my story with some of you before, so some of you may have heard it, but I had pretty bad anxiety and really low self-esteem, self-confidence. Ever since I was a young child, I was always really quiet and shy. I would never even dream to do a live video and share stories with people. But here I am. One of my other goals was to actually work with Alex. So that has come true, which is amazing. My other goal was to open up my own business, which now I have my own office, so that's amazing as well. So again, that's something I never thought or dreamed that I would ever be doing. The jobs that I've always done in the past were ones that were in offices where I didn't have to be in front of people. My first job was in a fast food restaurant, and I did not want to be in the cash. Like that's how shy and lack of self-confidence I had. Like it was crazy. I didn't want to be in front of people. It was a struggle for sure. I lived, I had a really good family. They definitely took really good care of me. Thank you so much. They took really good care of me. But, I didn't live in the best neighborhood, and because of just all of this anxiety and just low self-esteem that I've had, I ended up attracting kind of people that weren't the best for me. In school, there was a lot of bullies and things like that. Like it was just tough, and I'm not saying that I had life in the world, but I'm also saying that deep inside, like I knew that there was something more, there's something more for me. And I just honestly didn't think that I would be able to get it. I'm still working on it every day, but everything that I've been able to achieve within a few years, I've definitely been rocking it. I'm happy to say. And again, it's something that I never thought that I would do. When you look back over the years, even when I went through like struggles and hard times, I always look back and say like, how did I push through? But we do it, and sometimes we're forced to do it. But it's what makes you who you are today. So the other thing is, well, why did I why am I working with Alex? How did we meet? All of that. So, 2016, after I was in a kind of like a toxic relationship, again, as I said, I attracted people in my life that weren't very nice. It took me a long time to leave the situation. Um, I had a son at a young age. I believe I was about 18. And so me and my son in 2016 ended up moving to a new house. And I was really excited about it. Everything was awesome. Looking forward to starting a new chapter in my life. And then realized really quickly that some of the things that I have been doing, corporate job, I was there for 15 years. Um, there was a lot of things about it that wasn't really right. And I knew that. It wasn't right for me. A lot of empty promises. And I get really depressed. And I decided that I just was going to just go a whole new route. And I ended up getting pretty depressed. I went through therapies. And that, again, I decided to do acupuncture, or I went for acupuncture. And that was really helpful too. And that's what I became an acupuncturist. Again, didn't think that I could do it. But I started researching, and I started to follow Bob Proctor a lot. So that's how I met Alex. So she had reached out to me 2016. And the rest is history. Like it didn't take a lot of time for me to accept help and work with her, with her coaching program. We definitely clicked right away. It was absolutely amazing. And even though I had just moved into my house with my son, and I I quit my job. I don't know, honestly. To this day, I wonder how I did it. But I went back. I went to school and studied the coaching program information and the information for my acupuncture Chinese medicine diploma. Yeah, so just everything has been coming together after a few years, and yeah, I can't believe I did the things that I'm doing now. And you might look at me and say, "Oh, you seem so confident." I don't know if you think that, but people have said that to me before, and I'm like, you know what? I've come a long way. So if I seem like that now, that's I give a lot of credit to Alex for that, honestly, and myself, obviously, because I'm the one that did the work. But I had a nice nudge. Um, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter, you know, you may not resonate with my story. Maybe you do. Maybe some parts of it you do. But it doesn't matter what you have going on. If you have certain goals that you want to accomplish, if just wanted to make a change, if you want better relationships, I definitely recommend coming to work with us, because I cannot imagine without Alex, honestly. I just wanted to, yeah, finish off
Thank
with
you.
that, and that's a bit about my story.
Thank
So
you so
thank
much,
you.
Nicole. Thank you so much, Nicole, for sharing with your story as well. And we know sometimes how difficult it is as well to go back so many years, because it's the same like when I talk about my moment of weeks and weeks when I literally cried every day. I right now cannot imagine that I actually did it, because I'm thinking that's impossible. Like I can't imagine myself just crying for no reason But it's all because I have shifted so many beliefs in myself as well. And even though when I said I believed I was very confident and I had no problems to go out there and talk to people, what I did not realize, and I believe many people don't realize that they might be confident in one area, but then they lack confidence in another area. And that's why when we talk about the laws of growth, we have to understand and learn that there are some laws that govern this universe. And this is what we're going to be talking about today and tomorrow. So, like I said, thank you so much, Nicole, for going back in past. It's not always easy to do so because we almost like reconnect those emotions. And I I know that you've done such an incredible job. And I remember our first conversation in 2016. I literally remember it as if it was few days ago, how emotional that was. So what I can say by working with you and by seeing you grow, that you have grown tremendously. And what
Thank
is really good to see is that where you are now with your business, with your other accomplishments, with what you have achieved, even in the past year or two, is absolutely incredible to where you've come from. So, this is there for each and one of you who can relate to maybe Nicole's story, maybe my story, that no matter where you are right now, no matter what you think might be stopping you, if it's the external circumstances, if it's the economy, if it's someone else in your relationship, you need to know and be aware of that there is always a way out, always a way out. And everything you need right now is within your mindset. That's why we're going to share this incredible information with you so you can move forward with this information. So, thank you, Nicole, for today. We'll come back to you this week because you're going to be back with us with more
thank you.
incredible.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. And what I wanted to say is, as you may see and imagine, that where you want to be or what you're going through right now, perhaps maybe it's some emotional state that you think it's impossible to get out. Maybe it's a financial situation where you think, well, it's how am I going to do it in a current economical state and the whole chaos that's happening around this time in the world. And it's not only economical but it's emotional. What I can really assure you is when you start to get to know yourself, who you really are, and how do you really operate? What makes you unique? And how can you recognize that uniqueness and bring it to the surface? When you recognize it and bring it to the surface, this is where you start creating what you truly were meant to create it. Because I want you and each and one of you know that you were born with a purpose. You're not here on this planet by coincidence, by accident. Each and one of you has a purpose, and each and one of you has been born with this incredible, marvelous mind of yours. And now, either you will let this mindset, which is set for a failure, or you will allow this mindset to be set for success. You can only ensure and reassure yourself that your life will definitely be getting better if you have the understanding of who you truly are and what you truly are. And this is the question that not many people ask themselves on a daily basis. Who am I? What am I capable of doing? So, right now, I would like each and one of you to ask yourself this question: who do you think you are? And for the brave ones, for the ones that are really committed to shift the results, not only this week, but in their life, I would like you to share with your thoughts in our chat box because we would love to hear from you. So, who do you think you are? What do you think you are? How do you see yourself? If I were talking to you one on one right now and I've asked you this question, what would be the first thing that comes to your mind? It's a very important question. And this is something that probably there's no higher education that teaches us that. And that's where we go into a confusion state, because when we deal with certain situations like unexpected situations, stressful situations, or emotional impact, especially negative emotional impact, just because we don't understand ourselves, we don't understand how our conscious mind and subconscious mind works, we don't know how to deal with those unexpected situations. We don't know how to deal with those negative emotions that, when they're entertained, they literally have a huge impact, not only on your mental state, but on your physical state as well. So I would like you to imagine that you now know yourself, and you know yourself, so you are in control of your life. And you know you're in control of your life when you create the results that you truly desire. So the level of your relationships, you are surrounded by loving people, and you also give lots of love because you love yourself, and you have lots of respect from other people, and you give that respect to others and to yourself. And you do also have to remember that in current world, probably the way we were grew up is that we take care of other people around us, we make sure other people are okay. But how many of you make sure that you are okay, that you love yourself and you respect yourself and you treat yourself well? Because if you don't, then you can't expect others to love you, to respect you, to treat you well. And you can't expect from yourself to love others, respect others, and treat others well if you don't do it to yourself. Because you can't give something to another person if you don't have it yourself. So you first have to take care of you in order for you to create the life you truly desire. You see, we grew up believing that it's all around us, that it's all about where we are, who we know, if we are in the right time, in the right space, in the right time. This is where we get lucky. This is where we achieve that success. But it is not true. You see, we grew up with many beliefs that aren't true. And I was seeing those, and probably for the past 15 years, when I was going out there looking and observing other people, looking at what I was achieving. And a lot of things that I grew up with were not true. They just made no sense. So that's why I started to question it. That's why I was thinking, what is going on? Is it just one person that I've come across that it's kind of not what I thought they were supposed to be? They're very successful, yet they don't have a higher education, or they don't seem to be smart enough. And I used to grow up believing that you have to be very smart and you should know every answer to every question. Otherwise, you know, you kind of come across as stupid. So many of those beliefs are not true. And one of the beliefs is also that what you really want to create right now with your life, you can. And sometimes you may hear that you need to have a lot of money, you need to have a lot of time, you need to know certain people, you have to have those connections. If you don't, then you won't. So many people, majority of people, about 95, 97% of people don't ever try. So I really want you guys to start questioning your beliefs. Start questioning and thinking, how do you perceive yourself? What do you think about yourself? And I'm waiting for some of the answers here about who do you think you are and what do you think you are as well. If you don't know, that's okay. I wouldn't know that answer to this question 6, 7 years ago. I would just say, well, I'm Alex, I'm here right in front of you. So this is something will help you to understand this week. So I do hope you're going to stay with us till the end of the week, because I promise you that this workshop will be one of the best ones so far for you. Now, today we're talking about the laws of growth, and I would like you to really be open-minded, not only today, but through the whole masterclass this week, to certain ideas we have here to present to you. And I would like you to be aware of the fact that if something is not in harmony with our subconscious beliefs, we reject it straight away. That's how it works. So, for example, if somebody said to you, you can go after your dream right now, today, you may reject it straight away, because you may think, well, no, I need to have the capital, I need to have a business plan, I have to have the time, I have to have the knowledge, the experience, right? So if somebody said to you, you can go after your dream right now with whatever you have, would you believe that, or would your logic reject it straight away? That's how our logic works. Our logic is based on our paradigms, and our paradigms are a multitude of habits and belief system. And there's also an inner self-image in our paradigm, something we'll talk about this week. What's inner self-image? This affects your confidence. This affects your decision-making process. So there are certain laws that govern this universe, and there is a law of growth. There's few laws of growth, and we're going to talk about three of them today. First law is the law of intentionality. So what happens is that growth does not just happen. And what many people do believe, and I used to be one of them, is thinking that, well, when the right time comes for me, I'm going to learn certain lessons. I'm going to have certain aha moments in my life. I just need to wait patiently for those lessons. And one day I'm going to wake up feeling inspired and knowing what is my life purpose. That's what I used to believe in. To wait because the right time will come. And I used to believe that you have to be in the right place at the right time for things to happen to you, that the certain opportunities just happen to those lucky people. So I've waited and waited, and I believed that good things will happen to me. And I've waited, and it was been 5, 6, 7 years, and nothing happened. There's no change in my results, no change in my bank account. Even though I've changed jobs, as you know already now, I've changed jobs. I somehow ended up with pretty much same income, plus minus. And I always was thinking, well, it's my employer who doesn't pay me well enough, or I'm just not educated enough. So I have to keep on educating myself. How many of you have met a person or few people or read about people who are not well educated, yet again, they earn millions or billions of dollars or pounds or euros? Give me a thumb up if you have, because I have come across people like that. So you see, another belief that is not true. So be really open-minded, because if you're not open-minded, you will allow this logic to reject a lot of things that we talk about here. And I can promise you guys that if you allow your logic to dictate your moves, to dictate your decision-making process, I can assure you right now that what's going to happen in 2022, next year, just around the corner, is pretty much the same as it happened to you this year and last year and the year before. And this is nothing to do with economy. Trust me. Because it's not about the economy. The amount of money you earn, it's not about the economy. The amount of money you earn is not because of your employer. The amount of money you earn right now is because of your mindset. Is how you think. That is reflecting your bank account. And you can argue with me, because you can say, well, no, because there's many people that lost their businesses and so on and so forth. Yes, it has. It's a very difficult time right now. However, what I do know is also that right now, as we speak, lots of people are growing their business. They're doubling their incomes. There's lots of people who are not, but there's also lots of people who are. There's lots of people in 1930s in the Great Depression who have committed suicide because they couldn't cope with the economy. But there are lots of people who made lots of money as well. So as you can think, or at least allow yourself to expand your thinking, it's not about the economy, it's about your mindset. If your mind is set that whatever hits you from the outside, you can't cope with it, you will allow the external circumstances to control your life rather than you controlling the external circumstances because of your mindset being set for success. Does this make sense? Does it kind of resonate with you? Do you see a little bit of logic? I would say here, logic is not the right word because your logic is driven by your paradigm. But can you see certain correlations as well here? If you do, please give me 2 thumbs up because I would love to hear from you guys, okay? So the law of intentionality says that knowing is not enough. Growth doesn't just happen to you. You have to help your growth to happen. It's the same when it comes with luck. Luck doesn't just happen to you. It's not that people are lucky, so they are successful. People help their luck through their thinking, through their mindset, because they are looking for the opportunities. They're creating those opportunities rather than waiting for those opportunities to happen to them. Because when you have mind set for success, you'll see an opportunity in every single day. If you run a business and you have a service or a product, you will know that there is an opportunity in every person you speak to, rather than being afraid of those rejections. You see, it's all about mindset. What we also think, and I used to be one of these people as well, that the older you become, the wiser you get. How many people agree or disagree with that statement? The older you become, the wiser you get because of your experience, life experience. Would you say you agree with that or not? If you do, you can just put agree with the statement or disagree with the statement. And this law talks about the importance of being open to learn about yourself and to grow your potential. So, to really expand your potential, you really have to understand yourself. You have to really question your belief system. Just like those beliefs I've mentioned before. Do you believe that in order for you to get financially free, you have to work hard? Do you believe that it's all about luck? Do you believe that you have to be in the right place at the right time? All of these beliefs are to be questioned because subconsciously you are run by these beliefs. You operate on autopilot 96% of the time. So, do you believe that? Because those beliefs are ridiculous, but they run people's life and results. So, what we have to be aware is that in order for us to grow our potential, we really have to question some of our beliefs. Does this belief serve me? I need to work hard to get a lot of money. I need to work hard to make more money. That may only serve you in a short term. That if you work harder, yes, your income will increase, but eventually it's going to lead to burnout. There's no people who worked so much harder, eventually they become millionaires. No, they've actually found ways to work in a certain way. And I'm not going to say work smart because this is something that corporations use, but they don't understand what it means behind it, work smart. So you have to be aware that there's something more behind it. When you meet an older person, does every old person is very wise or smart, or some older people are the same as they were in their 40s and 30s? Sometimes when you meet a 20-year-old, maybe they might be even more smart than a 40-year-old. So age has nothing to do with growth. Some people are open to growth, some not. So you really have to question your beliefs. Another belief to question is failure is fatal? Would you say that failure is fatal? Would you say that once you fail, that's it? You're not good enough for it. That's what I used to believe in. You see, I used to believe that if I failed at something, I just was not good enough. So I gave up. And I had loads of things I started and then I wasn't good at it and I was failing, not receiving the results I wanted. So I stopped. That's another limiting belief we have to get rid of. Another belief is that we don't have what it takes right now to go after what we truly desire. So all of these beliefs are for you guys right now to think about how does it imply into your life. Another law of the laws of growth is the law of awareness. So you really have to know yourself. You have to know yourself to grow because you can't change something within your paradigm. And paradigm is your subconscious programming. Your subconscious programming. So your subconscious beliefs, your subconscious habits, and your subconscious inner self image, something we're going to talk about tomorrow. So you can't change something unless you know yourself, unless you know what to change. It's the same like when I said to you, I really believed that I was confident in my life because I had no problems to meet people. I also left my home country, which is Poland, when I was 19, and I had no problems with that. I was brave, I was courageous. I left and I went to live in another country. I went to America for 4 years and then I did it again and I came to England. So I thought that I am courageous, I am brave, and I'm confident. But what I didn't understand is that I was courageous and confident in one area, but I completely lacked confidence in another area, like money. I had no idea what money was, and I was misusing money. I was spending money instead of making it work for me. So that's another habit that I had, a very negative habit that worked against me. You see? So it's not really about what comes our way. And when I was 20, I was earning a lot of money, but I was spending it all because I had bad habits. So, as you see, a habit is a part of our paradigm as well. So, your paradigm is that subconscious programming that literally drives your life, it drives your results. So, you have to know yourself in order for you to change, to shift. Because if you don't know what beliefs you have, what limiting beliefs you had, what limiting habits you have, you will not be able to change. And another law that we want to talk about today, and we'll elaborate on these laws during this week, is the law of consistency. You may have motivation to get you started, but motivation will not keep you going. Absolutely not. You have to develop other habitual way of thinking to keep you going. And it's that consistency, it's that persistency. And that is a part of your habitual way of being. So you're either consistent and persistent, or you are a procrastinator. Something we'll talk about on Wednesday. Which one is which and how to sustain that long-term motivation. But motivation is not really what you're looking for, something we'll talk about in a few days. So these laws of growth are there. Everything in your life runs by these laws, and you're either aware of it and you understand it and you go with them, or you go against them, or you go up and down, and sometimes you're doing really well, sometimes you're not, because you don't have a full understanding of it, or your habitual way of being is not fully consistent. That's why some people have up and down results. Sometimes you're okay, sometimes you're not, and you're just like an roller coaster. You're never consistent because of that lack of understanding. That's it. It's not because you're not intelligent enough, you're not smart enough. It's because you don't have that full understanding that can help you to go after what you truly desire with direction and clarity. So this is it for today, guys. And please do let me know how did you enjoy the session. And what we're going to talk about tomorrow is confidence. Confidence is another incredible topic during our workshop. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. And there's so much more to come this week. So if you enjoyed it, please let us know in the chat box if you enjoyed it, if you had any aha moments, and give us some feedback, please. And I look forward to have you with us tomorrow, and we start at 7 p.m. UK time. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.